What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be going over Obsession. So let's get into that. My name is Leo, and if you guys like talking about anything movies, TV show, video game later, or just anything nerdy, you are in the right place. And like I said, today we are talking about Obsession. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, Obsession comes from Curry Barker, the newest YouTuber sensation turned filmmaker, and this movie has gotten so much hype. There is so much praise going behind it. There's so much faith in Curry Barker in terms of his future going forward, of his career with A24 and different properties being given to him. And this is one of those movies where everybody is saying this is the scariest movie of the year. This is the best horror movie in decades. And walking into this movie, you know, you're obviously a little worried because when you hear things like that, it always happens where it doesn't live up to the hype. It doesn't live up to how much people are praising it. It doesn't live up to the reviews. It just seems like it's more buzz to create a fire in terms of getting people to resonate with the movie and come see the movie. And it's just like a marketing gimmick when it comes to how many people are just saying, this movie is amazing, this movie is amazing. But in this case, with Curry Barker's Obsession, it absolutely lives up to that hype. It is one of the best horror movies I have ever seen. And obviously we're going to get into why I love this movie so much. And there's still some things that you can definitely nitpick here and there, but we're going to go ahead and just talk about why this movie is just so incredible. But before I go give you my thoughts about this movie, let me know what you guys thought about this movie in the comment section down below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts. I know there's a lot of people that are absolutely loving this, but there are still a few outliers that say this is not as good as people are making it out to be. So I'll definitely love to hear what you guys think about the film in the comment section down below. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get straight into my pros. And starting my pros is I just absolutely love this premise of the movie, something that is not necessarily game-changing or revolutionary when it comes to, you know, be careful what you wish for type of film, but the way they did the spin on this in terms of like the one wish willow, which I think is just gonna be the new iconic item in horror history. You know, the one wish willow is absolutely a very genius item that Curry Barker invented, and just the way this kind of works, the way this wish works and what it does to what's her name, Indy Navarrette's character Nikki, and how she portrays that character and what sort of spell she's under or possession, or you don't really get the answer to that, which I kind of like, but whatever is controlling her or what's taking over her consciousness, the way they navigate that for the one wish willow is just absolutely incredible. And just the eeriness, the unsettlingness of this film, where you're just always constantly at the edge of your seat, you're always tense on so many different moments, and it still has a way to absolutely shock you and still make the movie so entertaining and have these like really offbeat humorous moments that make you laugh, but it's an uncomfortable laugh. And it just takes you on this roller coaster of a ride where you're just constantly waiting to see what's going to happen next, worried to see what's going to happen next, because you're just constantly in that state of a flight or fight type of situation where you're always tense. And that is 100% have to do with the way this movie is filmed and directed. The performances, the score of this movie is absolutely incredible. So let's just start off with the big one here, Curry Barker. This is his directorial debut in terms of a big studio film. Obviously, he has had Milk and Cereal that's been on YouTube, but you can obviously see the new up-and-coming creative genius when it comes to Curry Barker, the story that he created, the dialogue, the writing, the directing style. You can already see a little bit of his style oozing into this film, where movies in the future, you're going to be able to be like, oh yeah, that's a Curry Barker movie, just because of the way it's filmed, the way it's shot. The story that he wrote here, the dialogue that he wrote flows so seamlessly. It feels so natural. It feels like two people actually having a conversation, not like two people reading off lines. So I think Curry Barker is going to have a incredible career moving forward, and he's going to definitely be one of those new up and coming directors. When you see his name on a movie poster, you are definitely going to want to be there day one. Now, next is going to be the score. The score of this movie is just so eerie and so intense. You feel the rumblings in your chest, especially if you went to go see this movie in theaters, but it just adds to the creepiness and how unsettled you feel throughout this entire movie. Just such an incredible score, and it just elevates everything that's going on screen, tenfold. So amazing score, so creepy, so eerie. So I think that was also just amazing. I'm not sure who composed his music. I think I heard in some instances that he helped with the composing of the score, but I think he did have someone kind of doing the full on composing, and he kind of just sprinkled in as much as he possibly could in that as well. Going back to Curry Barker as well too, he edited this movie himself, I believe. From what I heard from interviews and stuff like that he pretty much fully edited this movie himself. So that is another big kudos to him as well, that he kind of really took a lot of seats to create this movie and make it his vision. So that's just another testament to how creative, how amazing he is as a director, that he also edited the film, wrote the film, directed the film, did all of that by himself. Of course, he had a bunch of help in terms of like camera work and things like that, lighting, sound design, all that kind of stuff. But to have him really running that seat, it is really amazing to see coming from him. But of course, probably the biggest thing that people are coming out of this movie is just the amazing, incredible performances from everybody that is involved. You have Michael Johnson, who is our kind of main protagonist, if you want to call him that, as Bear, the one that makes the wish with the One Wish Willow, and he is just absolutely incredible in terms of performances. Just the way his mannerisms are, his facial expressions, the way he speaks, just his dialogue delivery as well. Incredible performances. Everybody around them as well does an incredible job. Like you have Cooper Tomlinson, which I believe is someone that Curry Barker went to film school with. He is in this movie as well as one of the friends in the friend group. He does an incredible job as well. And then you have even Megan Lawless, who I think does a fantastic job also. But of course, their two main focuses are Michael Johnson as Bear and Indy Navarrete as Nikki. Now, while everybody did a fantastic job in terms of the performances, Indy Navarrete as Nikki will go down as one of the most incredible performances in horror history. People are already comparing it to Toni Collette in Hereditary, or even surpassing Toni Collette in Hereditary, which I personally believe she is to that level, or if not more. If Weapons was able to get a award for Best Actress, Indy Navarrete should definitely win one as well with this upcoming Oscars, because this performance is going to be generational. She did an incredible job. Like, this movie would not work without that sort of performance. The facial expressions, the mannerisms, and just the delivery, and how creepy and unsettling the body movements. There was, Curry Barker confirmed there was no CGI or any sort of other effects to help with her facial expressions or body movements. That was all her. That was all in-camera performances. And while there's moments where they seem funny or hilarious, you still, again, you have that nervous laugh. You have that little kind of feeling of being unsettled, having that fear, being a little scared on the edge of your seat, because you don't know what she's going to do next. And that just all comes with her performances, all comes with her line delivery, all comes with her mannerisms, and how far she was willing to go in this role. Like, she took this role by the helm and just went with it, went full send, and it just shows how amazing of an actress she is. And that is one person that everybody is taking away from this that is just absolutely incredible. Like, this is for sure gonna be her breakout role. She's done other little things here and there, but this is going to skyrocket her career tremendously, because she is absolutely incredible. Now, obviously, I don't want to go into too much spoilers, but I do really love how this story kind of plays out, how it really goes up and down. It's really a roller coaster of emotions. It gets extremely intense, extremely gory, and just goes balls to the wall. And I just love the way it navigates the story. It's absolutely incredible. The way the character work of this movie is, and how you end up feeling certain types of way about certain characters because of the decisions that they make and what is going on, and how can someone put someone in this position, how can they allow them to suffer for this long, and things like that. And I think I really want to do a spoiler review on this film. I think I'm gonna do a separate video where I'm gonna go into full spoilers, because it is difficult to talk about a movie like this where you have so many intricate details that it is difficult to kind of explain how you feel about it without full on giving away what was going on. But one thing that I will go over is just the debate of who is the real villain of this movie. And everybody is saying that it's Bear because he's the one that made the wish. How can he put Nikki in this situation? And while I'm not going to completely disagree with that, because this might get me in trouble for saying this, I don't think Bear necessarily is quote unquote the villain. He is 100% a selfish piece of shit, right? He is a terrible human being. He's a terrible person to be in the situation and try to kind of make things work in his favor. Now, the reason why I don't say he's not the villain is because I don't think I feel like a villain purposefully puts someone in a situation to make them suffer on purpose. I don't think that's really what he did here. He wasn't expecting for something like this to actually happen, for the One Wish Willow to work. And when he does start to realize that it is working, he doesn't try his best to change the situation. He tries his best to make it work, even though it seems very off and off-putting and weird and strange and horrible things are happening. He is being that selfish asshole and trying to make it work in his favor, trying to figure a way for everything to kind of go the way he wants it to go. And that obviously makes him the villain of this movie. But I just think overall he is just a terrible, selfish person, not necessarily quote unquote a villain. I think the real villain here is, of course, the One Wish Willow. Even though it's not really a cursed item, the way Curry Barker says, it's still something to take into account. That is the driving force of what is going on here. And you obviously feel bad for Nikki, for her to be in a situation like this, for her to be kind of taking control over something she doesn't have control over, being taken advantage of. It's something that you definitely feel for her, and it resonates with a lot of people for sure because of something like that, because they feel, this definitely feels like an abusive relationship, or how being obsessed with something can cause dire consequences. And the difference between loving someone like dearly and between just obsessing over them and just kind of using them for your own satisfaction. And that's kind of where a lot of people can resonate with the character of Nikki, or resonate with the story in general, and why this is going in so many different directions, what people are taking away from this film. And that is just all in a testament to how great this story is, how great the directing was, how great the performance was, that people can resonate with this so well, even though this is a very insane situation that you wouldn't typically see in real life. It is so over the top, but there's still something so relatable about it, and something so sad and devastating about what is going on with these characters. So overall, I do think this movie touches a lot of topics in terms of that type of relationship stuff, while being gruesome and entertaining, and being funny in certain moments, and scary, and just being a overall fantastic film. So 100% kudos to Curry Barker and the team that created Obsession. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into my cons. And my cons list is going to be short. It's really just one con. And the biggest con for me is that even though this movie was really only about an hour, 40 minutes long, not that the pacing felt off, because I was never bored in any moment, but by the end of the film, you can definitely start to kind of feel the length. And for whatever reason, this movie felt like it was 2.5 hours long, not an hour and 40 minutes long. I don't know why it felt that way for me, but that is something that I definitely felt while watching the film, where I'm like, oh, damn, like we're still going. Like it didn't feel like it hit the climax yet. And it felt like we're already an hour and 30 minutes in, but we were probably only like 40, 50 minutes in. And the movie just felt longer than what it actually was. And that really is my only con here. But overall, this movie was absolutely incredible. One of the best horror movies I've ever seen. And I'm just so excited to see what Curry Barker is going to do next. He's already finish filming his next movie. He is obviously gotten the rights to do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film as well, which I am super excited for. But Obsession is definitely living up to the hype. So if you have not yet seen this movie, go check it out as soon as you possibly can, because it is absolutely incredible. That is going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this movie in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. And again, if you guys like Time I Think movie, TV show, video game related, or just anything nerdy, you are in the right place. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.